All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions. Now, folks, with the victory yesterday on the road, might I add, against a very good defense in the New Orleans Saints, 33-28, they are now 9-3 for the first time since 1962. And we have to keep in mind a couple of things. First off, I understand 21-0 after the first quarter. I understand the third quarter woes. I get it. They're giving up like 30 points a game in the last month or so. I understand it's not perfect. We have to remember a couple of things. First off, the Detroit Lions are not supposed to be 9-3. I understand that they started last year 1-6 and finished 9-8, and that is just extremely impressive. But 9-3 is one of the best teams in the league. The Detroit Lions are a top 5 team in the National Football League, and they are legitimate playoff contenders. All right, they're going to make the playoffs, and who knows? You get into the playoffs, you have as good of a shot as anybody. And so I think it's just important to remember that they're still learning how to win. And things are not going to be perfect. But what really stands out to me with Detroit is they did not play a perfect game of football outside of the first quarter, and they still won the football game. They gave up 21 points in the second half, only scored 9 points, and they still won the football game. No team is perfect for 18 weeks. No team, everybody wants to go 18-0. 17-0, Jesus. Everybody wants to go 17-0, but teams are not always on their A game, and they're still winning. The Detroit Lions are still winning. They're still learning how to win, and they've dealt with a multitude of different injuries, offensively and defensively, and things like they're ahead of schedule. They are so much ahead of schedule. I get it. Detroit was going to be good this season, but they're really good. And yeah, the defense gives up points. Sometimes the offense has third quarter woes, whatever. They're still learning it all. So today, obviously, we're talking Detroit Lions. If you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Lions fans, love you guys. As always, if we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the world to me. So one of my favorite things about making Detroit Lions videos is, you guys know I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, so I'm going to keep it a buck with all of you guys here. And I get it. When we're talking about your favorite team, and in this case, we're talking about the Detroit Lions, it's so easy to nitpick, right? Because we all want wins, but we all want the wins to be beautiful. We all want it to be perfect. It's a long season, and the Detroit Lions are very, very, very young. And if you have played sports, if you have played football, you understand this. But at the NFL level, which I obviously have not played at, I mean, you're getting your ass beat every single freaking week. The wear and tear on your body, a lot of like just making the playoffs, winning playoff games is just who's healthy, who's healthier. So Detroit right now, first off, they're dealing with some injuries. Alex Anzalone is going to be back. I saw CJ Gardner-Johnson teasing a little bit of a cryptic return date. These young players are stepping up. All right. Now, I know it's a very small sample size, and I know we want to see more of Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams, but that 19-yard double reverse yesterday, perfect play drawn by Ben Johnson, that dude is unbelievably fast. It's freaky how fast that guy is. And I also have a dynamic playmaker in Jahmyr Gibbs. Sam Laporta just had a career game. I have to give props where props are due. The New Orleans Saints defense did a phenomenal job scheming that game. Once again, outside of the first quarter, they shut Amon-Ra St. Brown out of it. They took him out of the game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 2 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Those were 2 huge catches. That touchdown was huge. Sam Laporta just had a career game. All right. 9 catches, 140 yards, and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs ran for 8 times, 60 yards. That's 7.5 yards per carry. Jameson Williams had a 19-yard touchdown rush. Defensively, Brian Branch with another interception. A pure instinct, pure football play. The dude caught it with one hand. Jack Campbell. Once again, you were missing Alex Anzalone, extremely underrated, underappreciated linebacker in the grand scheme of the NFL. Jack Campbell just had a career game. He had 9 total tackles, and he was literally everywhere on the field. Derek Barnes was all over the field. And I just want to bring up this statistic, all right? The Detroit Lions defensively this season are giving up just less than 24 points per game. That's 23rd in the league. I remember last year was my first year covering football. I remember watching the Kansas City Chiefs defense and thinking to myself, they're really freaking young. And there was a safety on that team, I can't remember who it was, who said, at the end of the season, you guys are no longer rookies, and we need you to step up, and we need you to do your thing in the playoffs so we can win a Super Bowl. And Kansas City last year, their defense gave up 22 points per game, and they won the Super Bowl. And now this season, their defense is ranked number 3. So once again, when we zoom out of the Detroit Lions, they're perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine. You're missing Emmanuel Mosley. You're missing Alex Anzalone. You're missing CJ Gardner-Johnson. It feels like Lee McNeil got banged up. It feels like their defensive line especially has never really been fully healthy. Now, I still need them to make plays. I still need them to force turnover. And I still need them to get to that QB. Aiden Hutchinson is still, he had a 35% pressure rate, I believe, this past weekend against the Saints. The sacks aren't there, but the impact is there. They were still getting to Derek Carr last night or yesterday afternoon. It's a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So when I look at Detroit, they're 9-3, and you've got the Chicago Bears, the Denver Broncos, you've got the Vikings twice, and you've got the Dallas Cowgirls. Saturday Night Football, can't wait for that, the night before New Year's Eve. We're going to learn a lot about this team in these next couple of weeks, all right? I want them to hit their stride at the end of the season. I don't want my team's the Packers, but you get what I'm saying. I don't want my team to start off 8-0 and then, I'm thinking of like the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple of seasons ago. They started like 9-0 or 10-0 or something like that. I don't even think they won a playoff game that season. I want to end hot, right? It's 18-week season. You play 17 regular season games. They are just fine. These next couple of games, especially against the Chicago Bears, Denver Broncos, the Vikings twice, this is now when everything begins to come together. And the best part about this is, we look at the last 4 games, 41-38 against Chargers, 31-26 against the Bears, especially that Bears game, and especially this past weekend against the Saints. They did not play great football. And what did they do? They still came away with victories. At the end of the day, the W's count. And the Detroit Lions are still 9-3. And they're still one of the best teams in the league. And they're still one of the best offenses in the league, putting up almost 30 points per game, coming in at 6th in the NFL. With their high-powered offense, the defense just needs to continue to improve on a week-to-week basis. Continue to develop these young cats, Brian Branch, Jack Campbell, coming off great games. They're perfectly fine here, all right? I can't wait. We say this a lot on this channel, and I hope it's not getting annoying. But for me, what I want with the Detroit Lions this season is a home playoff game, more importantly, the NFC North title, and a victory in the playoffs. I just want a victory in the playoffs. If you can get into the playoffs with the Detroit Lions will do, that's huge, all right? That is still huge for this franchise, all right? But a playoff victory that's all I can really ask for here, at least, all right? So we'll deal with the playoffs when it comes. This upcoming Sunday, we'll talk about the Lions again as the week goes on, but just kind of a little bit of a Lions ramble for you guys on this Monday afternoon. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Great victory. Victory's a victory. 33 points on an off game for the offense outside of the first quarter. I'm going to take it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it. So hit that like button, hit that sub button, but most importantly, give me a confidence rating scale for this Detroit Lions team. 1 out of 10, 10 being very confident, 1 being not confident at all. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next time.